What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, everybody, to episode 58 of Shut Up, Let's Talk. Join along here with Miguel Ramos. What the heck is up, Miguel?
Guys? What's going on?
My name is Alazar Chan. What's going on, everybody? We skipped the theme song today. This program today has been doing this weird thing where it's been laggy. I called the customer support, but, that didn't work out. I think they probably waited about an hour to respond to me, and then I had to leave for work already.
Yeah, they were busy with something.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, it's fine. So, What's going on today, everybody in the chat? Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Claudia, for hanging out tonight.
Okay, everybody's hanging out.
Episode 58, peeps.
Man, it's a good solid amount of time.
It's moving along, man. You know what? Today, I wanted to make sure you guys need to. How does the audio and the video look? Because give us some audio feedback. Good.
It's kind of weird to think that someone's talking to you right now.
Isn't it?
From the internet, it's like, what?
To me, I think that's my favorite thing about the show. It's like it's just a big hangout. Just do some fine tuning adjustments. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta need to get closer to the microphone.
What do you guys think of the new table setup, guys? You guys like the circular, the Knights of the Round Table?
I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Metaphorically, there's something different about a circle.
It feels less office-ish.
Yes.
I think before it felt a little bit more like, kind of like strict. Now it's kind of like, it kind of flows around the table.
It does feel good, and I think it goes good with the background, even though nobody can kind of see it at the moment. But anyway, folks, today we're talking about social media. All right.
Social
mediums. And you're a web designer, man. So you live in the entire world of figuring out all that kind of stuff.
I'm in a computer most of the time. Like, my daily life is just sitting in front of a computer. And it's weird because I'm building the tech. I'm involved with it. Yet I want to be as far away as I can from technology. It's super, ironic.
But, because you get so much of it, I think.
I think that's what it is. Like, I understand it. It's like it ruins it.
Yeah, other people seek it out because they don't know enough. I think that's the thing about knowledge, man. It
ruins everything. Ignorance is bliss.
Knowledge is a beautiful thing, but the more you know, the more unsatisfied you become with everything around you. Because
you can't be looking into too much.
It's pretty funny, yeah. That's why, I always said, if I had to choose between knowing and wondering, I'd always wonder.
Yeah, just wonder, come up with your own conclusion, right?
Because the feeling of wonder is so motivational and inspirational, dude. The feeling of knowledge is empowering, but it kind of gives you the end of the journey.
Yeah, you made it to the end. You already figured it out.
Yeah, Anyway, we're talking about social media today, folks. That got surprisingly deep there. But yes, social media, guys. How does it work? Why does it work?
Why do we use it? Is a question.
Why is and how is? What's the earliest social media you could think of?
I think I was on High Five, which is really weird. I barely remember it.
Holy
I just remember registering.
That sounds like DisneyChannel.com.
High Five.
Where are you from?
Here from Miami. Yeah.
Because remember.
Would you like to grab the mic? No, I'm saying live studio audience, folks. We have a live studio audience. Claudia, the lovely Claudia, was asking where Miguel is from. Miguel is from.
Well,
Miami.
my background's from Colombia, so.
It's a Colombian thing.
I think Colombians were using.
Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
He said the same thing. He had High Five.
Yeah,
High Five.
I knew somebody from Colombia that was using High Five. I think that's why I got it too, just to communicate.
Colombians and High Five, guys. If you and your fellow brethren. That's where the homies used to hang out.
At High Five. And then after that, I think I also downloaded LiveJournal. Do you remember that?
LJ. Oh god.
LiveJournal was weird.
LiveJournal was just a big complaint echo chamber.
It's like people just talking about how horrible their day went or something.
I don't remember anybody saying anything good on LiveJournal. I don't remember anybody saying today it was a great day.
But it was cool though. It was kind of it was a little bit more personal. The thing is I think people lost a little bit of the trust with social media. So back then with LiveJournal, no one knew the consequence. I'm just gonna write whatever I want.
Absolutely.
Just gonna who cares? I'm online. Or it's you didn't realize the massive effect that the internet actually has on what you're writing.
Yeah, right. Those LiveJournal became Facebook posts. Those the long Facebook posts we see today.
We see them right now. Yeah.
Charlie in the chat says, "Does AIM count?" I was thinking about AIM being a social network earlier.
You know what? It is.
When I brought up the question, that was one of the things that I was thinking about. Everybody had a avatar. Everybody had their AIM icon, things to identify with.
All the sound effects.
The sound effects were amazing. Remember when people would get Linkin Park clips and
forfeit the game. Or Metallica. I heard that one a lot.
With fire. Oh man.
No, the screen names. There was no reason to really have crazy screen names back then.
Absolutely. What's going on? Kathy hanging out in the chat tonight. Kathy says she's late. Nah, you're right on time.
Right on time. It's only, 9:30? Yeah, it's 9:30.
Kathy says she loved AIMS. What was everybody's screen name? Well, I know
Mine
people
was-
probably had many.
Mine was so lame. It was Miguelio, like 15.
Yes.
And then like 16 and 17. Every time we redid, like, we would cancel AOL and get it again, I would change my screen name. And that's usually what would happen. I'd go like through every year of my life, like 15, 16 or something, with a different like Miguelio version of it.
Oh, that's amazing. Miguelio, dude.
Miguelio.
I like that.
I'm
Where'd
not
you
even
get that from?
because I thought I was a Leo. Because
You thought, or you
thought I was a
you're
Leo.
not a Leo?
Well, no, because I was born in July. I was like, oh, I guess I'm a Leo, right? And then I found out I was like Cancer. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind, whatever.
That one doesn't sound as cool.
Why Miguelio of all things?
Man. Charlie 64. Not bad, not
Yeah.
bad. Sounds like a video game.
That
I
sounds
like
you.
it. I'm with it. All the way with it. Kathy puts a heart and peace sign emoji. Yes.
What did you have?
I had many. I had too many. You know, I would change them every few months.
I don't think I ever had you on AIM.
Probably not. I don't. It was.
Or if we did, I don't.
What's going on? Eric hanging out in the chat tonight. Eric makes great music in a band called X3SR.
Oh,
so
okay,
go check them out.
What up, dude?
One of the few times I've actually paid for money. I paid for that music. I was like, this is beautiful. Like, I need
pay
this.
for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex Valdez says Alexandra 11Y. I still use that username for everything. And Yesenia says her name was Yeseni with 2 ats. That's new. I've never seen 2 ats before. That's
2 @ signs.
2 at signs. That's
Okay.
kinda, 2 at signs almost sounds like a place. But
It's the new bar coming
dude,
up
I
in
used to
Miami
have
Lakes.
yeah. Okay, my first screen name. I'll say about that one. My first screen name. I was 12 years old. I didn't even have a computer at that
Man,
time.
that's
My-
way back.
Yeah, my dad had a thing called Web TV. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It became MSN TV later.
Oh, okay.
It was
I know what you're talking
basically-
about.
It was not a computer. It was a keyboard and
That
like a
plugs
little
into
box.
TV, yeah.
And it plugs into a TV, and you just had dial-up internet through that thing. And that's what we had. So it was kind of like a computer, but not really. Kind of innovative for its time.
I think someone paid me to install that to their TV.
Oh no!
Once.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Like, I guess I was
Wow.
always like a tech guru, kind of like people thought I knew what I was talking about. And I remember this guy, he said, hey, I have this box and I can use the internet through this, and can you plug it in for me? I was like, all right, sure. He's like, and I think he paid me like $10-15. I was
What if
pretty
that was
happy.
my stepdad?
Who knows? It was in Broward, so.
I don't know. No, mine was in Miami Lakes. So.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
you know, that thing was crazy, man. Anyway, the point was, you couldn't even download programs. Like, it was a really weird primitive system. Like, I had to
Yeah.
go to like a IRC AIM version thing. Like, it was like a chat room that was like, it was AIM, but it looked like a regular chat room that you went
It
to.
was probably like a web service.
Yeah, and it would just like, it would link all your AIM stuff. It was a really basic version of AIM. My friend was on the phone with me, and he was on AIM. He's like, you should get a screen name. I was like, I don't have a computer like that. He's like, I'll make one for you. He's like, what name do you want? I said, just think of something for me. He's like, all right, Drawing Dude 123,
That's a good one.
and he gave me Drawing Dude 123.
I like it. It sounds very 2000s.
My first screen name was definitely Drawing Dude 123.
It's like if you would have won like one of those like Disney Channel games or something, you come out on TV. Drawing
felt
Dude
like-
123 level like position 1. It's like, how'd you get there? Who is that guy?
It was some Johnny Tsunami shit. It was terrible. It was like Drawing Dude 123. I had other ones. I had one called the Death Scythe. After the Gundam, because that was my favorite one.
Okay.
That was, you could tell I was a teenager at that time, and a shithead to boot. I had a Crystal Planet, which was
That one's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a song by my favorite guitar player, but it was funny because a lot of people thought I was a girl and my name was Crystal. Because they were like,
So did you get like any unwanted messages? Or?
yeah, because sometimes, you know what? This was an AIM chat room hack back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember this.
I didn't
but-
know about hacks back then. So
Well, it wasn't a
what
hack.
was going
it was just
on?
it wasn't a hack. It was a thing you could do. Basically, when you had the AIM chat rooms, it would have a chat, and then it would have a bunch of random numbers. You could actually put like chat 1111, and that'd be a room that like 40, 50 people would be in.
I think I've been to rooms like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you would just put in like a basic number that everybody would be at. So then you'd meet a bunch of these random people, and you could pick your own color for your letters and stuff. It was super cool.
What I want to know is what happened to chat rooms. That was like such a big thing, and now nobody goes into a chat room.
Because chat rooms became texting. You know,
But it was like a lot of weird people though. So it was like
It was.
you would go
Outsiders?
into this room. I remember back when I was in middle school, it was funny because we would go into like some random like UK chat room because like the only thing that the proxy wouldn't pick up. and we'd go in there, and for some reason, I would always join in as Michael Jackson, and we would talk with random people, and they was like, "Hey, how's it going, Michael Jackson?" And it was just so funny. We were like 15, so that was like hilarious back then.
I still
or like 14, I don't know, like middle school.
I must be 15. That sounded amazing. Kathy says, Eric says AOL days. Absolutely, man. Kathy says playing games on chat, Messenger and Hotmail. And people are saying ASL in the chat. Oh, I remember ASL. Age, sex, location.
That was something that was big in the chat rooms.
Kathy says she made friends on those chat rooms. Absolutely. There were some cool people, man.
Yeah.
Yesenia says chat rooms are weird. We're weird always. Oof. I mean, I imagine for men and women it's a different story. Cause,
like, what's the real world version of chat rooms? Like,
I mean, you know what? Really quick, the real world version of chat rooms is probably the social media we bump into today. Except we could just see each other now. Before you really just based it off of your whatever the name was.
So drawing dude could have been anything.
Yeah, right. That was just it. That's the most interesting thing is that people start painting this picture of you just based off of a name.
Yeah,
isn't that very interesting? So
what was Miguelio? What would you think of that? It's like, oh, this guy's just weird.
Yeah. Charlie says he would love a chat room using soundboards. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Does anybody remember what their AIM icon used to be, or like what's one that you kept for a long time?
Dude,
remember AIM icons? Like they would be for anybody that does not remember. When you had your chat window open, on the bottom left or right would be a little picture, and sometimes they were animated.
Yeah,
and and you couldn't really make your own that much. You
had to pick one.
You had to pick through what they gave you, and it was so hard to find something good because a lot of the time it was just like Avril Lavigne, or just like hearts and stupid stuff.
Man, I cannot remember what I would use.
I had a guitar.
You had a guitar?
You had a guitar?
Nice. I had Michelle Branch for a long time.
Michelle Branch? Who's that?
Michelle Branch is a singer, songwriter, guitar playing artist.
Mogul.
But she used to make some music back in the noughties, the 2000s.
Okay.
But yeah. Good. That was Michelle Branch was my my thing for a while.
I can't even remember what my sound was.
Wow.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it wasn't because I was a fan of her music. I'll tell you that. She sang with Santana. Yeah, those are some really good songs. Yeah, I'm Feeling You and The Game of Love, which is the one everybody knows.
Santana.
Social media, guys. Did anybody? Well, no aim icons in the chat. Do you guys remember any of yours? I would like to hear those. Pancho had Metallica. Oh man,
I remember he had.
There were lots of Metallica ones.
Yeah, his screen name was O Burn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Vampire Freaks?
No.
You guys remember VampireFreaks.com? That was a goth social media.
I never got into that world yet.
I don't want to say it was a dating site because it wasn't really. People treated it like MySpace. I mean, they might have, but people treated it more like a MySpace than a dating site. It was called
people
Vampire
actually Freaks. Talking about vampire stuff, or did they get into like weird stuff?
They all just dressed dark. Just a bunch of Disturbed fans and stuff. A lot of people listen to Tool.
Tool.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Anyway, guys, the main topic for tonight, I want to talk about social media algorithms, guys, and what that is. Do you know how to explain an algorithm? Because I don't really know what it is.
An algorithm is pretty much a mathematical equation. So, like, if you do 1 + 1 = 2, that's an algorithm technically. So,
okay. So
pretty much it's just like. It's like a lot of pieces that you put together that pretty much equal something. So let's say like Facebook's algorithm for which posts show up first is because you've commented on this person more than these other guys, so you're gonna see this person more likely when you like open Facebook. So that's like an example of an algorithm. Like Google has their own. Like all these guys always come up with different algorithms for different topics. But
there you go. And how does that affect us? Basically, we are using the social media every single day. If you ever wondered why you only see 5 to 10 people on your newsfeed every day when you got over 300 friends,
that's true.
It's the and 300 is like a pretty average number.
Have you ever gone to like some like outskirt person in your social media and you're like, oh, I haven't seen this person in years or something, and then you find out that they've been posting pictures this whole time?
Oh yeah,
it just never showed up on your stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's funny because you meet those people in person. And they're like, yeah, post something, and it's like I never see you in my feed.
I didn't know you came up.
Yeah, and so the whole reason behind that, folks, we just said it a second ago. When you interact with more people more often on your social media, those are the people you see, more frequently. if you look through your friends list and do it as an experiment, go find somebody that you haven't talked to in a really long time and be genuine. Don't say you like their haircut if you don't. But, try to comment on a picture, like a picture, do something,
Yeah.
Send them a message on
But
Messenger.
creepy enough, like, actually, if you're an Android user, like, Facebook really knows how to dig in deep into your phone, right?
Ooh.
So, like, they'll go into your contacts. They know who you're texting more often. They know, like, if you conversate with this person all day or not. And, of course, Facebook knows that you're talking all day through text. So, when you go on Facebook, you're going to see their stuff first.
There you have it. That's exactly how that works.
I guess like the reason why I wanted to bring up social media because it's like it is one of like the biggest changes that happened to like how people interact with each other.
I'd say it is the biggest, really.
Yeah, it made a huge impact. Like I don't think the world is the same after it happened, and that's why I wanted to bring up like what happened before and after. You know, and it was kind of like interesting because we grew up with social media from the like I guess like we saw technology happen slowly because we started seeing the internet when we were like what high school.
Yeah,
or middle school.
The internet, middle school, elementary, yeah.
Elementary, like
middle
5th
school.
grade, probably. We started seeing the internet, but it wasn't like we were online all the time. We got to still go outside and play.
By the end of middle school and the beginning of high school, online gaming became a thing.
Yeah, wow.
So, because that's when the good internet came in. So that
when people started getting broadband, that was a big thing.
So we caught the first wave of really good internet. So I think that's the most important thing about it.
Yeah, so you can remember a childhood without internet and a childhood with internet.
Yes. That's the big. You know what? I think that's where we draw the line. In how plugged in you are.
Yeah.
Is that if you're born with it, then you view it completely.
There's kids nowadays that are like, my first social network was like Facebook or something, or maybe even Snapchat. It's like, that was the first thing I used. It's like, whoa, Snapchat, dude. That was like
kids.
Only 3 years ago.
Get off of Snapchat, kids. Get back to the coloring books, yo. What happened, man? But how old do you think is old? Everybody in the chat, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I got caught up in the fun. Kathy says, remember Farmville? Yes.
I actually never played Farmville. I never played any Facebook games or Zynga games, whatever, like Mafia Wars or anything, and you would get those notifications all day. And it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm never going to play this game. I'm sorry.
Oh, those invites were the worst, man. Kathy says we're being watched. Yes, we are.
Yeah, they're recording everything, analyzing our video, our live stream. You never know.
Yeah, no. You know what they do? How creepy is it when the microphone thing happens? You talk about something, you open up your Facebook, and that's your first ad.
Shit is true. I believe it. I think Instagram's listening to everything you're saying. That's why I deleted the app. Like, I'm just like, I'm not going to have it. Because once you give them access to, like, your photos, it's not like when it needs it. It does it whenever it wants. It wants to check your photos. Like, oh, this guy added his new picture, like, in Rome, Italy or something. Like, let's start sending him some, like, pasta ads or something. I don't know.
Just ragu all over my page.
Ragu? That would be a better idea for an ad right there.
Hey, you know what? They're probably listening in right now. They're probably
these are some good ideas right here.
Yeah, algorithms are changing as we speak. But guys, going back to the algorithms in general, some fun stuff. I was actually watching a video earlier today on the algorithms between Facebook and Instagram, and I learned some stuff that I did not know.
Yeah, those are some good tips. Yeah, you got to keep on going down with that list. Some stuff that I've been doing wrong.
Now, let's go back to 2016. I started up Shut Up Let's Talk that year, and I was doing social media the way everybody else does it. Put your pictures, make sure they're not the worst ever. Put hashtags, keep it engaging, blah, 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 right? You put the hashtags. Everybody was like, you need the hashtags,
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what everybody thought, and that's exactly what they want us to think because everybody uses the hashtags. Hashtags is how we find relevant stuff. Now, guys, if you're putting hashtags on your posts on Instagram, they want you to put it about 5. 5 is the number, and they actually don't want you repeating them, which is the strange thing. If you let's say you put a post up and you put art and music, hashtag music. The next post you put, do not put art, hashtag music. You got to put
something a little bit more detailed about it.
Renaissance art or something different, or just a drawing, instead. But that's that whole thing right now.
I can see like Facebook wanting you to be more specific because I think general topics are so saturated nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, let's start digging into like more niche like metadata. So I guess that's what they want.
Now they're also with Facebook algorithms. They're doing their own thing. Even though one owns the other, Facebook does own Instagram. They both work kind of differently, which kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
But
there's not as much stuff you can do.
Facebook, I think they want you to keep. I heard it's about 85 characters, like to get the maximum reach to like your people. Because if you make a post too long, then they'll limit that kind of stuff. Nobody, they just don't want that. 85 characters, I heard, is like a sweet spot for the.
But what sucks about all of this is that they can change it like tomorrow. So like you might have this awesome strategy, like I'm doing great, and all of a sudden you're just gonna fall off.
Exactly.
A day later, just because they just changed everything, and they do it on purpose. They want to change it constantly.
You know what? A big question. A lot of people wonder why they're even doing it in the first place. Why does social media? Why do they even have these algorithms? Because, folks, if you have not realized, people have made lots of money through social media. Yes, please.
That's true.
My little yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
How do you call it? Social media, folks. I told you a lot. I started thinking about beer and my mind melted.
Yeah. We're gonna get a beer ad later now.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, the reason why algorithms even exist is because people started making a lot of money on social media. A lot of people started opening up small businesses and advertising their business.
And that was great. A lot of people made some good money. Honest people, honest ways of making cash. It wasn't even like it was rigged or anything. It was actually pretty honest ways of making some money. But then all of a sudden, Facebook's like, there's some people that are just rigging the system and they know how to capitalize, and they're like, let's change this up. Let's make it hard for those people, but then it makes it harder for everyone else. Absolutely. And then you got to hire some guy who goes in and does social media all day. And it turns out that, like, I was reading an article. They were saying that big companies, like huge companies, are hiring teenagers to do their social media in the summer. So that's like the new summer job.
Yeah. Basically, and they're also wasting their money, because if we're talking about these algorithms the way we are, then they're fucking it all up.
No one knows how to do it right.
No, they don't. And that's why, I looked up, if you look up these videos, like algorithms, they'll be sorted by years. There's going to be algorithms 2015, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah. And then like Google, they always change it. Technically, they say that their algorithm changes like every 30 seconds or something. Because it's an algorithm that keeps reading what's going on, and it follows trending? The trends. And then it like shifts based on the trend.
Wow.
It's kind of messed up.
I mean, it is, but you know what it is? From a consumer perspective, we're looking at it like it's messed up, and it kind of might be. But from a business perspective, it's the most brilliant thing.
Oh yeah, they make so much damn money.
And algorithms in general, folks. The reason why they do it, guys, people are making money, and guess what? Guess who was not making the money? The social media websites. No matter how many people were making money off of Facebook was almost going bankrupt.
No. That's not true.
Okay, Twitter's the one.
No, actually, Facebook surprisingly makes $500 per user a year, and it's probably even more now.
Is that new, or is that back in the day?
Because I can say they were losing money at the beginning. Yeah,
because the thing is, they were losing money, but then they started putting ads.
Oh, I'm pretty much done.
Yours is coming.
Huh? Oh. Oh, okay.
And yours is done.
Cool.
Thank you. What? Anyway,
what was I saying?
I don't remember. What were we talking about?
We were talking about algorithms and people making money.
People making money on social media.
Oh yeah, Facebook was making some pretty good cash actually per user once they got their advertising model working and whatever. Because they spend the way it works in like Silicon Valley, they'll spend as much money as they can, and they don't care to blow it all. They don't care, just spend it. Because once you get to the top, then nobody can touch you. It's like a king of the hill type of thing. And right now, like, Facebook's a monopoly. They own Instagram. They own a lot of WhatsApp. These are the biggest ones. Like, everybody uses WhatsApp in like other countries, maybe here too. But
you know what they voluntarily own the most? Your time.
Yeah.
Because
they don't want you doing anything.
But you know what? That's the funny thing I was thinking about earlier. I was like, my first reaction to all this algorithm, knowledge that that I learned today, I was like, man, they want you to be sucked in. They want to control you.
Yeah, because they make a lot of money.
But then I thought about it again. Oh, and there's so many tips, guys. I forgot to mention this one. Facebook, not so much Instagram, but Facebook especially, 3-hour rule. If you post to get maximum engagement, you post stuff 3 hours apart, at least.
Really? Okay.
At least 3 hours apart. Nowadays, a lot of people post, 20 minutes at a time or 30 minutes at a time. Bad idea. They actually want you to be posting. Let's say you post at 5 o'clock. Post again after 8 o'clock. Not
Yeah,
on it.
And then there's different days that probably get more engagement. Like I know Sundays are like the best days for engaging with people.
Oh, really? You know what's the funny thing? I was thinking about changing the show to Sundays.
Yeah, because on Sunday most people they're honestly not trying to go to work. They're trying to not do anything. They're maybe just chilling. They're watching TV, but a lot of people, they just open their phone while they're watching TV, and they'll watch your show while they're watching TV.
That'd be great. Do that, guys. Waste your time on us. Anyway, thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out tonight. I have not had a chance to thank all you peeps. Yesenia in the chat says, how old do you think is a good age for kids to be on social media? I was actually going to ask that question. I forgot earlier.
I say kids after 18. It sounds pretty olderish, right? But I don't know. I think...
Ideally, yes. But realistically... Realistically, it couldn't happen. But ideally, hell yeah.
15? Like, come on, 15?
I agree.
The thing is, kids are messed up. Remember Yik Yak? Yik Yak doesn't exist anymore because of all the the hate talk that was going on in there.
Yeah, kids like to push it, man.
They take it to the next level. And then, if we were bad when we were, in middle school, imagine kids nowadays.
Yik Yak, for anybody that does not know, was an app where you could anonymously be posting on kind of like a timeline or newsfeed. And it would be your local 5-mile radius?
I'd say 5 miles, even a mile. It depends. It was like an algorithm that would see if there's enough stuff a mile away from you, then they'll show you that.
There you go.
And if it's not, then they'll try to expand the radius.
Yeah. So that was, it didn't last, well, actually it lasted for about a year or two.
I thought it was good in college, surprisingly.
It was cool. I mean,
you'll see, hey, we're having this party here, and it's like, oh, shit. I mean, if they're posting on Yik Yak, anybody can go, and it'd be this huge, college party. That was pretty good.
I think the coolest thing about it was the fact that it was anonymous, so a lot of people were just talking shit, of course, but you got to see what the general...
deep thought, what people were thinking was in their head, because it was anonymous. You're right.
It was who was around you. So you were whoever said this thing, he or she is here somewhere. It was a very strange. I don't know.
It was cool, actually.
It was very innovative, and there was a reason why those type of things catch on
because it wasn't profitable, I guess. But in the end, it was still a cool tool. So it kind of sucks that a lot of social media exists now. It's only because they made money. It wasn't because they were the best or anything. It was just they knew how to monetize.
Absolutely. Yeah, they did, and they do nowadays. Yesenia in the chat says, "I am. I'm not sure about." And what? Alex says, after 17, yes. After 17 years old.
I say, yeah. I mean, like I said, 18, I think, is a pretty good age. The thing is, here's the other thing that's super messed up about social media. The way that it works, with all the notification stuff, they're constantly watching you, and they know your movements. They see, you're tracking, when your location, whatever. And they know how to get you triggered to hey, check your phone. Check it. Did you check your phone yet? And they create it into a habit. That's why constantly you see people I'm looking at my phone. I don't know why. I need to read this. And there's nothing going on your phone. Why are you checking? It's I don't know. I'm just used to doing that all day. It's
oh yeah.
Because they constantly create this cycle of what? Oh, with the notifications. So yeah, the notification red dot thing is just because they know most people are OCD. I'm starting to think anybody I know is OCD, and it's that red dot, I can't look at it anymore. And I've actually, I'm so OCD that I've actually pushed everything I have into just 2 folders, even though I have over 300 apps. So right now I have 13,000 notifications going on, but it's only coming from 1 folder. So it's I just turn it here, and I only have 1 app on my screen. So
that's amazing.
It keeps it pretty minimalist.
Oh, that's amazing. To me, I'm one of those. Those things used to bug me a lot. And what we're talking about is having unread messages. You get the red dot.
Dude, I hate
from
that.
hell. The red dot from hell.
The color. They picked that color specifically because they knew it would trigger you.
Oh, Kathy asked a cool question. How does one minimize their digital footprint to get away from the cycle? Stop
using it.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Turn off your phone, stop using it. There's actually this new thing called the Light Phone coming out, and the only thing you can do with it is make a phone call. And there's this Light Phone 2 that is you can do a phone call, you can call an Uber, and send a text message.
Epic.
So it's pretty just the bare minimum of what
you need. It's Nokia brick phone again.
It's a nice phone too, actually.
I like that. That's kind of cool.
And I think it's only $200 or something like that. It's not too bad.
I keep my phone around just for the for the podcast and stuff. Man, don't get me. I talk to people and stuff, but I like talking on the phone. I'm one of those people. I'll still talk and have a conversation.
I think that's the best way of communicating.
I love it, man. It's the real way because we get to listen to convictions. The way
tone of
people,
voice. Yeah.
Yeah. You the way somebody says something, not just what they're saying, and some people don't know how to write the way they talk.
Yeah, let's say in a text message, you can say, hey, how's your day? It's it was amazing, but you're really my day was terrible. You can't read that from people.
Yeah, exactly. Sarcasm is hard to read.
Yeah.
Through
sarcasm doesn't work. So it takes away a lot of the fun. So what I'm trying to get at is, I think the reason why text message has become so popular is because you can't really understand what the other person meant. So that means it creates a little bit of ambiguity.
Yes.
Which means that it becomes a part of what your imagination thinks it is. So it's actually more exciting because you don't really know what they're saying.
Yeah, it makes you wonder more, right?
Yeah, you're wondering. It's like, oh, does this person hate me or not? It's like,
you know what it is though. Sorry, not to cut you off, but you just hit me with that. Social media is kind of like, I don't want to say it's creepy in a weird way where we get to actually look at people from afar. But up close,
Yeah.
like you get to look, like if there's somebody who's weird, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's,
oh yeah, and you're going through their pictures or something.
yeah,
it's
like some people go through people's pictures and people do all these kind of sort of things. If somebody was up there, like, looking around at you kind of funny, like in person.
Yeah, like you don't want to have somebody like taking notes like, oh yeah, this person.
Yeah, so it's made it, you got a lot of these like trench coat flashers, like trench coat flashers turned into the dick pic guys,
Oh yeah, that's so. I don't know why people still do that.
Who knows? But the thing is that they exist for some odd reason,
Yeah.
And they found a way to go from one place to the other, and that's the thing we were talking about. How young somebody should be. That's the dangerous part about social media, is that there's a lot of impressionable kids out there.
Yeah, because they don't know what's right or wrong or what they should be doing. But then again, like I used the internet when I was like, I don't know, as early as I could think of, like maybe 12 years old or something, maybe even younger.
Right.
But the internet was way different back then. Nowadays, you can really go down the deep end into something really weird.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to find, things that you don't want to see. Like, I thought about sometimes at my job they play the news in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
I'll be eating in there, and then I see, I don't watch I refuse to watch the news. I just don't do it.
I think that's good. Don't watch
I don't do
the
it,
news.
man. First of all, it's biased. Second of all, it's depressing. And I don't want to.
And they follow the same thing with the same thing as social media. It's just there to trigger you and get you to like think that everything's terrible. Yeah. Like everyone thinks that the world is dangerous, but we're actually living like the most peaceful time in history. It's like, why don't you let your kids out on the street? It's probably safer now than it was in the 70s.
Yeah, because now there's like phones on everybody and cameras on everyone.
Yeah, dude, no one's doing
everywhere.
shit. Like we got security everywhere now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still dangerous in its own. We're not saying it's not dangerous.
Yeah, so, there is always going to be some danger, but technically,
don't just let your kids play in traffic, everybody.
Yeah,
just because it's 2018.
But
right?
still, it's supposedly safer. Like the thing is that you see things now more because they're in your social media. You're actually engaged with the news more than you ever have, technically.
Dude, I was watching an interview earlier, and not to just to put it in perspective, we're talking about technology and how safety and whatever. It wasn't up until the 1999 and 2000 where DNA testing finally came out.
Oh yeah,
and
the Human Genome
really
Project.
Effective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So think about back in the day, people were doing all sorts of strange stuff, and other people were getting framed. There was no DNA evidence. Nowadays, it's a very different.
Everything's
world,
pretty
man.
Bulletproof nowadays.
Yeah, it is dangerous in its own ways because there's a lot more manipulators out there, and there's ways to manipulate the system always. But I don't know. It's. I guess what we're trying to say is it's not as bad as it looks. Like they'll only show you the deserts and the blown up places.
Of course, they want to show you the worst stuff because it's the most interesting. Like people like to see a car accident. There's no way in hell. I know everybody here watching. They're driving by. They have to turn their head. They just want to see what's going on, even if it's horrible. They just want to see it.
Rubberneckers.
Yeah, rubbernecking.
They call that. Everybody wants to watch a train wreck, even if it's with their eyes closed.
Well, that's why. That's the other thing. Like, why social media? Like, even like our president now, he's been really good at like just getting your attention. People just talk about it. He popped into our conversation right now.
Yeah, he's buzzwordy, man. That's what he does. He
even if it's not good, it's just everything pops up. And then like I think Kanye West has done a good job of pretty much just getting your attention. He probably knows it's like, I don't really care about any of this crap, but I know that people are just gonna talk crap about it later online.
He's just a Billy Mays, but his biggest product is himself.
Yeah,
that's it. He's literally just Billy Mays, who Billy Mays was like, this thing in my hand is the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
No, Kanye's like, the thing in my hand is me, and I'm the most amazing thing ever.
I'm the best one ever.
Yeah. So it's the same. It's the OxyClean approach, guys. He just talks about himself.
It's a marketing ploy. Even like DJ Khaled, all he does is like, we the best. It's like, what do you mean you're the best? Who said that?
But you see what the funny thing is, though? You broke it down right there. He says we the best, and when he says we, people think that he's included. People feel included.
You're cool with me, man.
Yeah,
you're with me.
because there's a lot of people that say we the best, and they think they're talking about him and their group. DJ Khaled brings it to you in a way where he wants to have fun and blah blah blah. He's dancing and he knows he's stupid.
Fun times.
When DJ Khaled says we the best, we means all of us, and I think that's why people even get into him. That's why. They even
because
buy
I'm
into
pretty
it.
sure he wouldn't have gotten famous saying I'm the best because nobody wants to hear that.
Me and my crew the best. Like it just doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you know what? It does make sense. We the best sounds more fun.
Yeah, like we're all the best, and then
Yeah.
that's why he does all this motivational stuff. You think he's on there saying I'm the best? No, he says you can make your dreams happen. Blah blah. Blah. He says all this motivational stuff on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's true. I
that's
never
his whole
followed
thing.
him though.
I don't follow him either, but I do see plenty of his stuff because it's too funny. It's hard to avoid if you're on YouTube. Kathy says we got in trouble with my community for drawing with chalk on the street. No one plays outside, and she says that equals childhood obesity. Well, a lot of people do, play inside the house these days, just because nowadays video games and stuff. A lot of the time you could go to your friend's house. You would leave your house to go to your friend's house, which was social activity, and you play a video game at their place. Nowadays they don't even make games to where you can both play anymore. They want you both to have PS4s or what game systems. They want you both to have online
Then
accounts.
you have to do a LAN party, but kids, they don't have money to do a LAN party in their house.
They don't even have money to buy the headphones sometimes, like
Yeah,
the speaker set, so it's
yeah.
kind of like, you have to spend to get that interaction that we
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
get just by going to our friend. Dude, 7 years old. I used to, one of my good friends who he owns a towing company now, cheers to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to plug it, but I totally forgot the name of it. I'll put it later. He used to show up at my house at like 8, 9 in the morning. He used to knock on my door. His mom used to drop him off on the weekends, and we used to hang out and play video games, Super Nintendo.
That's cool.
Just hanging out in the morning, like, just playing video games. Just
Yeah,
playing
you're
cool
side
shit.
by side. You actually get to play.
He used to bring his red cartridge, the Spider-Man Maximum Carnage video game.
Oh damn!
It was like this epic. Oh, great! It's great stuff.
Yeah, it was still a little bit more human, I guess. What you're trying to say is like with video games back then, you actually had to be with your friends to have like a multi-party, a multiplayer. You know what I mean?
And now we're so comfortable with the social media, just saying what's up to somebody in a message.
Yeah, and then but the thing is, like
Not even a phone call. Not even a text.
because if you send a message to someone randomly, it's like, well, that was weird. Why did you just message me? Like, what
Yeah,
are you
people
thinking
start
about?
thinking all this
Like, you're
weird
thinking
stuff,
all
too.
this weird stuff. But let's say if I bumped into a bar, it's like, oh shit, like, hey, what's up, man? Like, it's just so normal.
Yeah,
and
where you
casual.
been?
It's
Long
like,
time.
oh, cool, whatever. I haven't bumped into you in ages, but like getting a text message like randomly, you're like, what's this guy want? What's going on here?
Yeah, like, well, how'd you think of me all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like, why
how
did
did
I pop into your
mind?
head? Yeah,
Damn, are we just paranoid? Like, is it just that?
Your social media societies.
Social media society ideas.
Oh yeah, because I always told you, like, I always wanted to make a social
Me and
media.
Miguel been talking for years about
a
this stuff.
social network, something that's actually pretty cool. And like I've been in like the blockchain space a little bit, like playing around with that. And I mean, I could talk forever about that stuff, but I guess like the premise of like the social networking website would be like kind of like Harry Potter's sorting hat. And when you're gonna join the network, you actually get sorted into a different party. You don't get to choose. So like it might ask you some questions, whatever. I haven't thought of that, but you go in there, and now all of a sudden you're in this network with people you don't know, but you're in this team together. And then if you can add like some gamification to it to create like a way like, oh yeah, I'm representing this. Like remember when Pokemon
point
came
system?
out? Yeah, or something.
Some sort of point system.
But
man.
you guys
People
had to
love it.
work together. It's not
Exactly.
something about you competing within your team. You want to compete with the other big teams. So there would be only like maybe 5 or something like that.
I'd love that, man. A social media that had like a team aspect.
Yeah, because
I
it
think
kind
it'd
of
be a
seems
lot
like
of fun.
everyone's against each other. It's like a free-for-all in social network world.
Yeah, why not just turn it into a game, right?
Yeah, it is a game in the end. You give people points by liking their stuff. You're creating rules, essentially.
You're right.
Might as well make it a game.
Yeah, no. Charlie says people need rules. Rules make people. A lot of people want to tell you that they don't want to be told what to do, but guess what, guys? They are every day. And
You
they-
want
and they-
rules
yeah.
so you can break them.
Yeah, guess what? Yeah, a lot of people say they're rebels, but in reality, they
It's
just
just a free.
they're
Because, come on, man. If you can't skip your class, then what the hell? Like, it's not as fun. If you're
Get
allowed
back
to
to high
leave,
school.
if you're allowed to leave, then it's like, well, I mean, I guess I could leave. I'm just gonna stay in class.
exactly.
People like to break rules. That's why I think people had a lot of fun back then, just because they were able to do like break rules and constantly. Nowadays, like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. You want to smoke too? You can,
Yeah, well,
whatever, man. Go
Speaking of
ahead.
breaking rules, I think that's why people had so much fun with MySpace back in the day, because you could change the way it looked.
Yeah,
into
you could
what you
morph
wanted.
it to be exactly how you, wanted it.
yeah, and dude, I used to put so many I used to change my background every few days, man.
I remember this background I
was
made on
obsessed.
Photoshop. It was terrible. I was like trying to put everything I liked, and it's like I'm making into like a mural, and it's
The
like
collage,
collage.
Photoshop collage.
It was
back
pretty
in the
much just
day.
a mix of like skateboarding stuff and 80s music stuff. Like,
Oh, that's amazing. I used to just put a lot of Opeth, a lot of my favorite bands, just Opeth backgrounds, very dark, like
Yeah, you would have purple text maybe. Or not?
purple, blue, like lots of blues.
Wait,
Lots
I think I
of,
remember now. Yeah, because that's when you used to
Man.
post your music. It was good.
oh man, the MySpace music. Oh, you guys used to.
Yeah.
Miguel and his brother Charlie, they listened to my music a lot.
Remember
man, back in the day.
the most famous one I think was Sailing or Sail.
Sea sailing.
Yeah,
I wrote that for a good friend of mine that passed away. Actually, I'm trying to get a guest on the show in a few weeks that is friends with that friend that I wrote that song for.
Oh damn.
So that would be a really good time. Yeah, man. My
Cool,
friend
cool.
passed away on my birthday. Unfortunately,
Oh,
I was
man.
18.
Sorry to hear
And
that.
thanks, man. It happens, But cheers to him. And then yeah, man. I wrote it was the first time in my life I'd ever lost somebody like close to me.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like a best friend, but it was somebody I would see anytime. Like if me and him were in the same room and we saw each other, it'd be a good time and a good
yeah.
conversation.
You guys
you
just
know?
clicked.
Yeah, and it was the kind of thing where you want to hang out with somebody more, but you're not in the same exact circle. So you're just like, I'll see you when I see you, and it'll be a good time. And that's metaphorically, it'll still be like that. But yeah, man, it was. I wrote that song for him actually. So that was I might remake that song someday. That'd be a good time.
It'd be cool if you posted that again, because I always
I gotta
enjoyed it.
find
I would
it.
put it on loop and I would listen to it actually.
I gotta find it. They don't let you download MySpace songs anymore.
I know they took everything down. Like I don't even have
Yeah.
any of my original stuff.
I know. I used to have some of my music still up, guys. MySpace music was a good time back in
Well,
the day.
I thought it would be a cool idea because it doesn't exist right now. Is to recreate MySpace all
social
over
media
again.
music.
Huh?
It's like a social media music.
No, not the new one, the old one. Just recreate the old one.
Yes.
It'd be
I think
cool. You
there's-
would have a bulletin board and whatever.
Man, I would love that. You know what we need? We need a. This is just me talking out pipe dreams, but we need a game that is just like Tony Hawk, and we need for there to be a social media implementation that was just like, MySpace.
Who can grind the longest and you would see it
we
amongst
need
your friends.
skateboarding. We need skateboarding to be popular again.
Yeah,
We need MySpace to be popular again.
and it's like it's
I want
not,
rock on the radio again.
a lot of times it's like, oh man, you're just nostalgic. It's like, no, I actually think that some of the things back in the day were better than now.
Because now people are fucking controlled, man. Like because now everybody has the same exact page and they're okay with it.
Yeah,
Back then, they were like, nah, what if you guys want more? And they were like, you're going to give us more? We'll take it.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're going to give us options? We'll take them all. And
Yeah.
everybody had a different page.
even
man.
though it opened up for hacking really hardcore.
It
but
did.
That was the only reason why they try to like make it uniform. But there's ways you can make something more like flexible, like allow
Yeah.
people to just change the background picture. Like.
Let us have some control. Let us change
Yeah.
the freaking font if we want, bro.
But
Like, just something. dude.
Facebook's controlled by their stock price. and-
Exactly.
That's their version of rules.
Exactly. Well, you know what?
Yeah, but they
Charlie
don't let
brought
me
up a good
hack
point.
into
Those are their
Facebook
rules.
right now and do whatever I want with it. It's like you can't change the way it looks. There are extensions though that you can change like how Facebook looks on your computer.
Absolutely.
It's kind of cool.
Give me 1 second, folks. The chat on my laptop stops. I just want to make sure the stream is still going because if it wasn't, that'd be a bad time.
Ew.
But I mean, it says we're still running, so I think we are.
Yeah, it's still running.
All right, cool. Anyway,
Nice.
the social medias that we were talking about, folks. We were talking about MySpace. Well, at least I know the audio sounds good. I just heard my dumbass voice. But we were talking about MySpace and how it was so personal, man. I think that was the coolest thing about it. I really liked when people had music playlists on their page, and you got to hang out on their page and listen to their playlist for a
Yeah, it
little
was
bit.
like
and
their
you were
room.
"Ah."
You were going to their room.
Yes.
Well, Tinder has that now.
Oh.
But it's not the same because you don't get to personalize it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yes, you don't get to
personalize
personalize the truth. But I don't know. To me, it's like with the music back then, it was cool because a lot of bands got discovered that way. And I know I brought up
Yeah.
Tony Hawk because I love that game, but to me, a lot of bands got discovered through that game too. But
Tila Tequila got
Tequila,
got famous through MySpace.
Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain. Those
That was
old
YouTube,
school-
but he had a MySpace presence. I believe.
that was cool. Chocolate Rain. Chocolate
That's what we're talking about.
Rain.
You know what's funny? Let's talk about something about social media that I don't think anybody ever brings up. Is the fact that let's say you have people that are 30 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're on social media. Let's say those 30-year-olds have children.
Mm-hmm.
Those children might be 10. Think about the fact that nowadays kids think that they might be ahead of the curve on their parents. Their parents might know more memes than the kids. Isn't that crazy to you?
That is
That
weird.
like a kid could come across a viral video like a chocolate rain and be like, like these my old fuddy-duddy parents don't know about chocolate rain, and then we're like, what, you old ass, like what you know about chocolate rain?
Yeah.
So it's very it's interesting to think of a generation where both people are as plugged in as each other.
That is kind of weird.
Like if you think about the 80s and you had like Cyndi Lauper on MTV and artists like that, Madonna, the parents were like, what are you doing listening
That's
to this
craziness.
Madonna?
Yeah.
It was a detachment. It was like a rebelling against the parents. Now you have parents on Facebook.
Well,
you got whole families on Facebook.
That gives me this thought though, because it kind of seemed like back in the day, like let's say you were growing up in the 30s or something. By the time you were like, let's say 30 years old, you were not trying to keep up with any kind of trend, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But nowadays, you could be 30, 40, 50, even 60, and you're still keeping up with trends because now it's so easy.
Yeah, and they push it on you.
Yeah, or maybe
The
you gotta
trends,
be you gotta be
Facebook.
cool when you're 40. You gotta wear Balenciaga shoes or something. I mean, we just saw
Red
Jeff
bottoms.
Goldblum wearing Balenciaga shoes. It's like, what the hell? Like, why is
Christ
this cool?
almighty.
It's like, why are people who are older who should be beyond trying to fit in or anything now trying to keep up with the trend?
Because you know what it is, and it's funny because we're talking about social media. Good point that you brought up. We're talking about social media through a 20-something's perspective. Think about social media from the perspective of a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. These are people that are coming up, these are people that really saw the invention of like the cordless house phone. We're
Yeah.
talking, we're freaking out about cell phones. These people were like, what? A phone in the house that charge it?
And I could walk around the house with it.
Yeah, so it's like, imagine how mind-blowing social media is for them. To be able to watch, to look up a performance of the Eagles.
It's kind of
just on YouTube.
because the older generation, when they use social media, they use it in a little bit more of an innocent kind of way. It's like, hey, what's up, Bob? And it's like, hey, what's up? And they talk in a more genuine
really getting
interaction, right?
Yeah.
But like nowadays, like you don't go to someone's wall and post something and say, hey, what's up, Balazar? Haven't talked to you in ages. Like, it just doesn't work that way anymore.
Because also you have to realize we also live in a weird, kind of like an ironic society where the less you care says more these days.
Yeah, we're definitely in a situation where
ahead,
people
brother.
are trying to not care as much. Oh, thank you.
You want a beer, man?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Why
Yeah.
is it so cool to not care or think that it's like, yeah, everything just happens to me so easily?
Well, think about when somebody posts a picture these days. They post like back then. Like 10 years ago, you might get an actual caption. Something like, this was me on vacation with my parents. And now you're just like,
It was
now you just
authentic.
write family life
Yeah, fam.
or
life
fam
with the rents. I hate that one for some
with
reason.
the rents. Oh fucking hell. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, nowadays, and that's what. Thank you. Nowadays, you get that type of ironic, I hate my life, but I'm so involved, type of thing.
Or even like putting pictures up, right? There's people who'll take like 50 to 100 pictures until they get the right one that they can use on Instagram.
Yeah,
And if they don't get enough likes in 5 minutes, it's going right back down. It's like you're not seeing these people. It's like it's weird because like now your whole life lives in your head, whereas before I think people used to live in the real world where it's like, all right, I'm gonna dress this way to go out, I guess, to get some kind of feedback. But now it's like the only way you can get feedback by being at home is just by posting a picture.
Absolutely. But think about how much conversation gets ruined through the invention of like sharing pictures. Kathy says she loves taking pictures. It's a fun thing. Don't get me wrong. I don't take them that much though, to be honest. I'm one of those people that if I'm having a really good time, I have such a hard time remembering to take my phone out.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Like even my brother complains, like, because I've been traveling a lot lately. He's like, you don't post anything. I was like, but I don't know, man. Like I'm having a good time. I don't feel like posting anything. Like
do I have
it's like, do I really? It's like it's a chore. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of what's going on here. What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm at this place. It's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to show off anything. I'm just trying to have a good time and just enjoy it.
And not to sound like I care what people think, because I mean, judging by this haircut, clearly I don't. But I really don't like being the guy pointing the camera at myself in front of like 1,000 people.
Yeah, I saw that once at a bar. It was just a dude. He looked kind of miserable. He was just sitting there at the bar by himself, I guess. Like, he was probably waiting for a friend or who knows, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was so weird. I see the dude tilt his head back and start smiling, like super happy, like,
Oh fuck!
And I was like, yo, what's going on here, dude? Like, why did that just happen? Like, I don't know. It looked awkward.
People's social media faces scare me, man. Everybody's got a face for the camera, and it kills me, dude.
No, the one that, like, I hope I don't offend anybody, but, like, I've seen this
That means
happen.
you know you're about to.
Probably going to offend a lot of people, but, like, I've seen some people where, like, when they're going to get a picture taken, they have the perfect pose that they've, like, trained to get it just right. That's like, I know I will look good in this picture because I've done it a million times before or something. It's like, or whatever the hell
They
it is.
learn the
Like,
degree of their neck that they
it's
need
like
to turn
I'm
it to.
tilting my neck 45 degrees while, like, twisting my body some kind of way or something.
Got to get the shoulder right level with
It's
the.
like, it's just like this elbow's here. And, like,
Angles?
Yeah, the angles,
the angles,
man.
yeah. So, like, I don't know, like, and it's kind of funny because me and my brother were talking in the car, and we're just like, the new trend now is to take the most authentic picture. As terrible as it probably makes you look, it's like the most realist one, and that's why we're always so nostalgic about, like, oh man, that picture in the 50s was so cool. It's like, yeah, because they didn't even know there was a picture being taken, or if
Yeah.
there was, it was like, oh man, that guy, he was cranking some kind of wheel to just like get it to
Like it was a real moment.
Yeah, it was a situation. Yeah.
I actually have a camera over here it's a film camera, like it's a nice Nikon camera, but it's like a film one.
Oh yeah, that's
and
cool.
I got it at a thrift store for like $5, man. Super nice, and it's a film one. So every time I take a picture with it, sometimes once in a while I break it out and I take a picture with it to remind myself of what the feeling is like to commit to that
Well,
moment.
because you only had like maybe 30 pictures in a row, so it's
Exactly.
like you don't have that many chances. It's like, go for it, dude.
Yeah, like
nowadays
fingers
it's
in the
like,
way, you're a failure.
Yeah, yeah,
Natural.
It was a lot more natural, absolutely, and
yeah.
and it's not just that it was more natural. It was the fact that it was more natural also with the fact that it was more important. You know,
It mattered a little bit
everybody
more.
knew, like, people would actually look out for your finger in front of the camera for your lens.
It's like there's a
In the
finger in the way.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Whoa, watch your hand," you know,
Yeah.
and like they would be looking out for.
That's where the say cheese originated. Say cheese.
Say cheese, right? Say Balenciaga. Charlie in the chat says we should have a social media dude following us. Yes, we should have a social. Imagine having like sometimes I think about people that make vlogs, and sometimes they can't be the ones to film everything, so they have people follow them around with cameras.
Yeah.
That must be the strangest experience.
Unless
I
it's
made a
a-
vlog once. It was a lot of fun. I went
Yeah.
to a burger place. I asked them if it was cool if I get to film.
I think I did
was
see that
awesome.
one. It was like some gigantic burgers with some gigantic beers.
Oh, me and Jose and Michael.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we all went to go get these burgers. It was amazing, and the restaurant was super cool. They were like, "Yeah, man,
Go ahead.
You're gonna put this on social media? Hell yeah!"
Give us some marketing right
Give
there.
us some plugs, yeah. So it was it was a fun episode. I had a great time. That was one of those times where I realized, man, this is the fun. Like, I edited that whole thing in like 15 minutes, and it was just fun, all fun. I love vlogs. Vlogs are fun. If I did them every day, I think I'd get annoyed.
But I guess like going like full circle is like
Yes.
the problem with what we have now is that everything is kind of disposable. It's like it doesn't really matter. It's like a paper plate, you throw it away. Oh, this picture I didn't like it, you throw it away. You just do things and like I didn't like this post, delete it. Like imagine if you had a situation where like if you post it, you can't take it off.
Yeah, imagine. Oh,
Then
you know
you
what?
really have
What
to
if,
think
what if that's a
about it.
part of your social media project? Like whatever you
Well,
put.
if it's blockchain, then that is what's gonna happen. Like if you throw it on the
Permanente.
blockchain, you can't take it off. There's no way in hell because you're sharing it with the entire blockchain network. So
Add value to our lives and to relationships.
yeah, because it's
Right.
like you can't just be like, no, I'm gonna delete like my entire like history of saying I'm a Republican that loves Trump or something.
Yeah, I can't just delete. Can't
Now
just
I'm
delete
like
the message. Yeah.
Obama, like yeah, it was Obama the whole time. It's like, dude, come on now, like no bandwagon.
That'd be a very interesting social media where you can't delete anything.
Yeah.
That like you have to really stand by what you stand by.
Yeah, and then, but the thing is, like, people change and whatever, and that's why, like, the popularity, like, Snapchat and whatever, like, the stories, is like, oh, it's gone in 24 hours, so now it's not so much pressure, you know?
I agree. You have a lot of backsteppers now.
So it's like, it's in a weird, like, situation with social media where it's like, do we want to have something that's extremely disposable so you can show more about yourself? Do you want to have something more permanent, but then it becomes more of a curated version of yourself?
It's a tough one, man.
Well, we're in constant evolution. What we thought about like 8 years ago. We might not.
So what we do
Claudia
is
says
that
we're in a constant evolution from what we thought 8 years ago. It's very true.
yeah, you're not gonna
We-
be the same. Like I bet you would crack up if you saw the kind of stuff you were like aiming to other people back in 5th grade or something.
I already do. I look at I'm so glad Facebook does not remind me of the things I posted in 2011 and 12 because it was all rap lyrics, all about smoking some type of weed. Yeah, it was a very interesting age.
I forgot what did I ever. I don't know if I ever followed any trends like with social media because I never really got super involved. But I did like the trend that you've been doing lately with tagging somebody for a movie.
My friend well, you know what, that thing had been around for a while, and I didn't see it again. My friend just did it to me recently, and I was like, I was gonna ignore it because it's a cool thing, but I didn't want to do it. And then I thought, you know what, this is fun. So,
it was a fun game because I liked how you posted a 1 hour photo because that movie's crazy.
Is it not? Dude, that movie's amazing, dude.
It's good. It's
1
so
hour
well
photo.
done.
If you like Robin Williams as a comedian, I highly recommend you watch this movie.
But it's not a funny movie. Though.
No, because it's him in a very different role. That's why. It's very different. It's very like introspective. It's a really cool movie, man. I highly recommend it. Really gets you inside the mind of the lonely.
But like, it's a crazy movie.
Because it puts you in the mind of the people that want to be wanted, man.
And it's about photos too.
And it is about photos and how you have to commit to the moment. And you know what's funny? I was saying something about photos. I got it from that movie. He says something in the movie that stuck with me since I watched it. And he said nobody ever takes a picture of something that they want to forget. And that's like,
well, you're trying to forget it, and you don't want to store that. Like,
can somebody, love? Can you open the door for Legato? He's crying outside.
Really?
Huh?
Really?
Oh, sorry. My girlfriend doesn't want to be on camera, but she will be in a second. Yeah. Anyway.
crazy movie.
Yes, 1 Hour Photo was a great movie. Another great one was Punch Drunk Love that I posted. See, that's why social media is cool, because you get involved in these cool types of things.
There's some good balance, and I think that's why it's like it's the whole casino style. It's like a slot machine, right? You have a lot of bullshit. You just do it because you're like, whatever. I just go through with it. But you do find good things about social media. I don't get me wrong. Like sometimes, like it'll bring up a reason for you to interact with someone you haven't talked with in years or something, or like. Maybe all of a sudden, like, you found another friend from back in the day you had no idea is a guitarist now or something, or a bassist, and you can start a band. Like,
you get to find your teachers from back in the day.
Yeah, you just, I don't know. It's a good tool, but then right now it's more for the wrong reasons. Because inherently, like, if social media got this big, it's because we actually need it. Like, someone was going to build it some way or somehow. Now we just got to take it back from, like, the Zuckerberg and the whole, like, companies that are trying to control how we use it. And then like that's why like I'm super into blockchain, because it's not owned by anybody. It's just it lives on and it just continues just living on its own, and you can change your whole system if you wanted to, if you want. Like
the crowd is getting restless. Somebody disagrees with the fact that you said we need social media.
We don't need it.
No, you should literally come on, like,
no,
nobody can hear you.
I don't have batteries. So
Talk on the microphone. Nobody can hear you.
No, baby, it's fine. You can repeat my like,
Sorry guys, my girlfriend doesn't want to be on camera, so I will say what she's saying.
But we don't need it.
She says we don't need it.
We became dependent of it.
Yeah, we became dependent on social media.
Yeah, we became dependent on it. Yeah.
We become dependent because we grow on it. And that's what happened with social media. You don't need it to survive.
No, you don't need it to survive.
So Claudia maintains we do not need social media to survive. I will say that we do not need it to survive, but I think we do need it to...
I guess need is a strong word.
Need is a very strong word, but I'm going to say that with the society that we have today, I think to have a social media in order to communicate with the people that we need to, especially if you have a business and you're trying to... You got to realize, guys, that the 90s... Here's the thing, guys. I love the 90s. Duh. You can look at everything behind me. But you have to realize that the 90s was a controlled environment, dude.
Yeah, you did not have accessibility to anything. Like, let's say you had a little pizza shop. Good luck getting a commercial on TV.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
For the things that you would want for. Now, even though if you don't want it or you don't need it, it comes out to your site.
Claudia says that because back then we would seek it, and now if you don't, now it's going to show up to you no matter what.
Back in the day, you could pull out the yellow pages, and you're like, pizza shop in North Miami, let's find these, like, you know.
But there's lots of small businesses that still fail today. And the thing
I don't
about
want them to fail. I want small business to grow.
And the thing was, back in the day, if you want to get an ad on TV,
that's really hard.
Good luck. You know, if you want to get an ad on the, in between a football game or anything like that, not even the Super Bowl. It was a very controlled environment. Why? Because I mean, think about how many cartoons. Okay, everything that I have behind me, guys, was made for our generation. It was made for people that knew that kids were waking up at. It was made for a generation that knew that kids were waking up early in the morning, watching cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, kids were watching cartoons early in the morning. You know, they knew the kids
Sailor
were.
Moon.
Yeah, they knew the kids were buying cereal. They knew the kids were doing all these kind of things, and the look on my face when the camera got fucked up was really funny. I just saw it on the video.
Oh, because you get a little bit of lag there.
I might have to cut that later. That's really funny.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. That's just good
It's
TV.
great. It's real life.
Exactly.
It's
That's
not
the whole
curated.
point of the live show.
It's
It's for it
authentic.
not to be edited.
Actually, that's what gets my point of.
Authenticity.
Exactly.
I think that's the newest trend. I think that we're gonna start seeking a little bit more authenticity.
That
I
was
think
amazing.
the polish and everything of people taking perfect everything and that their life is perfect. I think it's like
It's time to get over it. We reached the peak, bro.
yeah,
I think it's come out to a realization that perfect is just
boring.
boring because in
Perfect is boring,
imperfection,
we're hearing.
we find perfection.
Yeah,
We cannot
In imperfection, we find perfection.
yeah. Tried and true statement.
Is
right
what
there.
you said.
Well,
Yes.
Victoria's Secret is the epitome of fucking.
definitely.
Yeah. There you have it.
I mean, we're all
Um,
human anyway.
Exactly. And the thing that we were saying the most is that through social media, guys, we get to communicate.
It's a tool
And
of
it's a communication tool. And that's the reason why I'm saying the 90s was such a controlled environment, because they knew that you're going to have to call somebody. If you want to call collect, you're going to have to pay extra money. You want to call long distance, you're going to pay more
It's
money.
expensive.
It was a controlled environment, guys. Nowadays, we have so much freedom. And I don't think that we need social media to be that thing. But the fact that we have it already, it's there already.
Maybe
Good
we
luck
had
getting
like
rid of it.
a dumbed down version of a social network. Like let's say it was just something that you were. Well, that's what the trend actually with Apple, that they want you to keep an eye out on how much you use social media. So imagine it's like something that's like, oh, you only have 2 hours a day to use it, and if you use more than that, then you got to pay or something.
But I think nowadays social media controls us more than in the past.
If you let it. Claudia says social media nowadays controls us
Well,
more
a
than we
simple
control
solution,
Everywhere where you go,
if you have the
it. If
app.
you let it.
if you let it, but even though if you don't, it will still get to a point that if it's needed, it will let people
Well,
know where
it
you go.
creates a shadow profile. Yeah.
So you control more than before.
Right.
Well, we're always going to be controlled somehow.
I mean,
sadly.
at the end of the day, there's a drone probably watching us at all times anyway. So who knows? So being watched or not is not the problem. The problem is you being yourself in the middle of all of it. Because a lot of people, a lot of people I know. It's funny because me and you are the kind of people that joke about the Illuminati and how
conspiracy
important it is.
theories. We're about to turn
Yeah.
into an Alex Jones show right now.
But we joke about it. But there's so many people out there that literally let it control their lives.
Yeah, yeah.
My life's not, but I do believe in it.
Yeah,
Well-
I
well,
think the Illuminati is real, probably.
First
but-
of all, the Illuminati is real. You know why? Because we're talking about it. For example, if something happens to the point where you're talking about it and making it real, guess what, guys? It exists because you made it.
Yeah.
If the Illuminati didn't even exist, even if they did not exist, they have. It's in the back of your mind. Like, we'll make jokes about it. Like, if somebody's famous, we'll be like, "Oh, Illuminati," And the fact that we think
Where
that
this
there's
video's
somebody
not gonna make it to Facebook.
Exactly. And the fact that we think that there's something out there, even if it did not exist, all of a sudden it does because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So at the end
It's
of the day,
like it goes back to
their goal always works because people get scared even if they do exist or not.
Yeah, yeah. And whether it exists or not, it's like you're already thinking about it, so it made it real.
So
it almost
might
goes
as well.
back to like your question, or what is it? Like last
The
show,
tree.
Let's talk with the tree. Is like if it made a sound, does it exist or not? I think you have to be around for it to exist.
Exactly.
Yes. I need to give you 5 for that one.
Then
Because it's in your reality. Maybe it does exist for sure. Yeah, technically it did happen.
It's funny because my theory about the Illuminati is the same thing about the tree. It's the fact that it probably exists anyway, whether you care or are
that's-
there.
Oh man, see that's another way of thinking about it. Yeah.
But it's not in our reality.
It is because we're talking about it not existing or not.
Well, the
And
only
something
thing is.
becomes real because a brain or processor processes.
Okay, we're not going to revisit the last episode on the new episode. But, yes. I get it. At the end of the day, folks, yes. The Illuminati, if you are talking about it, then it exists.
What happened that we can't even do a show next week because we mentioned the Illuminati?
Then I probably won't even be around to be making a show.
Shout out to Skull and Bones.
Yeah, shout out to the
Skull
Skull and Bones
and-
Society.
Yale and Yale. George Bush. There you
Shout out to
go.
the Skull and Bones, the web that makes the Illuminati.
Let's see how much things we
The
can
Freemasons.
What can we throw out to bring this thing down? The Freemasons. What
And but
else?
see, that's the funny thing, guys. Freemasons exist. There are plenty of lodges. I've seen them.
I want to go to one. What will you see in
No,
there?
I've seen lodges. Like we see cars with the symbols all day, but I've seen lodges. I've seen Freemason.
But why are
lodges.
they around?
Meetings
Like,
are held
what,
here.
What goes on in those things?
Freemason meetings. And they
Illuminati
talk
stuff.
But that's the funny thing. You know what it is? That's the thing, guys. The fact that they keep it so secret gives us the ability
'Cause, like,
to
I can-
overdo it in our minds.
I can see like anything, whether a Scientology church or something. I will know something about it, but Freemason, it's like, damn, I don't know anything.
Well, what did we say in the beginning? Full circle, and then I guess we'll close up the episode because it's been about an hour. Full circle, folks. What did we say at the beginning of the episode? Is the fact that knowledge will bring you to the end of a journey.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? If you had knowledge of what the Freemasons talked about, it would bring you to the end of that journey. The fact that we wonder what they talk about keeps them alive.
Yeah.
And the reason why they've been alive for so long and why there's books and videos and YouTube videos, why there's so
And they
many
get
things
tons
written
of
about
hits.
them is because we continue to wonder.
we wonder.
And we will never know. And they want to keep it that way, guys. That's what fraternities are all about.
That's what makes it more interesting.
And that's how you keep that. Well, I mean, what's so mysterious about something that you know everything about?
Well, that's what Bob Dylan actually said, that he was trying to create a cult, and he's like, always be ambiguous, never actually mean anything.
Of
So
course.
that no one can actually guess you anything. It's like, oh yeah, I think Allosaur's about this thing. It's like, I have no idea what.
we dabble. We dabble.
Girls like mystery.
Shut Up, Let's Talk, sponsored by the Skull and Bones Society.
Question is no. The fact that you question things is the fact that you know nothing. Aristotle said that.
Claudia in the chat says, the fact that you question says that you know nothing.
Yeah.
Which is an Aristotle thing, but he did math, so what did he know about English? I'm just kidding. That was just the fact that he was a mathematician. But, you know,
Yeah.
probably just smoking the good stuff, you know? Probably like Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson, man, that he was a smart motherfucker.
He was a smart guy.
Oh, Alex,
But Ben Franklin was smarter because he was like, I don't want to be a part of this government. Fuck this shit.
Ben
I'm gonna
Franklin-
just keep my inventions and keep it 100. And you guys can go ahead and join your fan club called the government.
oh look, answer Alex's question.
Oh, sorry. What is the thing everybody can you interview a Freemason?
Any Freemasons out there?
Oh man,
We'd
that'd
like
be
to
the
schedule you.
funniest thing. That would be the most. In a way,
Don't
I
they
was
wear
like,
little
man.
hats too, or something? Like,
You know, it'd be amazing if I could get somebody with like the voice changer in like the shadows, like
oh
who's a
my
Freemason.
God. It's like, yeah, I used to be in the Freemasonry for like 20 years.
I've
No longer
only got $2,000 in my bank account though. Like, cause that's I always see like 1998 Nissan Sentras with Freemason symbols on the
Yeah,
back. So I'm always
or old bands.
yeah.
You know what?
I'm like, they're not doing much for you, are
This
they?
is really messed up, but what if Freemasonry is really just a club for guys who like do construction and do the actual masonry? And it's like, dude, we're just regular
No, we're
guys
literally
out here.
Masons. Yeah.
Yeah, we're Masons. We know how to do that little
We
curve.
just build stuff. Yeah, we're just mathematicians, folks.
Post and lentils. Yeah, we know
Oh.
we know it all. Like,
On that note, guys, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out on episode 58 of Shut Up, Let's Talk. It was a beautiful episode today. My name is Alazar. Join along here with Miguel Ramos.
what's up, guys?
Today,
Thanks for having me
tonight.
here. It was great.
It was a great episode, man. What'd you think of it today?
No, it was good. We touched upon a lot of stuff.
First podcast experience.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever do anything like
How'd
this.
it go?
Uh,
How do you think of? What do you think of it?
Pretty good. I'm just trying to keep it normal. We usually always get into some really weird conversations. So we just brought it on camera.
listening to that. Good luck re-listening, folks. See you at the end of the rabbit hole.
All right, guys.
Until next time, folks. Love, peace, chicken grease. Look both ways before you cross the street. My name is Alzar Chand. If you guys want to follow follow me, it's at Alzar Chand all over the webs. If you guys want to follow the show, it's at Shut Up Let's Talk.
Yeah.
All over the
I'm on
webosphere.
Instagram as Smash Mouse. So,
Smash Mouse.
Hashtag, yeah.
or if you want to check out the project that me and my friends are doing, it's Neon Blood. So that's our t-shirt company. Check it out and some cool stuff.
Neon Blood, a reference to Shut Up Let's Talk.
Yeah.
Episode 56, I believe.
Yeah.
So anyway,
See if I'm
folks,
keeping up.
cheers to that, guys. We will see you on the next episode. Feel free to hang out and check out the last few episodes. New shows are coming. I will not say what, but new things are coming. I would like some recorded stuff for you guys to be able to hang out and watch whenever, along with the live show. So I want to bump up, the program a bit. So there's some cool stuff coming, folks. So be on the lookout for that. Until next time, be safe, folks.
See y'all
This program
later.
is goofing off, so I got to end it through the task manager. So we're gonna have to
Oh,
control
man.
alt delete our way out of here, folks.
Get out of there.
Schlater, Kelly Schlater.
Laters.